Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Cassidy, and I want to take a few minutes to go over this worksheet that I'm going to be assigning you. So let's take a look at it. In this worksheet, we're doing something very simple. We're adding two single-digit numbers. Now, when you look at this, when you see these equations, you're probably very familiar with adding, and you know that there are several different ways that we could add these numbers together. Let's take the first equation for example. You'll see, oh, we have 7 plus 2. And one way you might do this is, oh, well, we can draw dots to represent the numbers. So if we draw 7 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a little small, there, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we could draw 2 more dots, 1, 2. And this way you could just count all the dots that you drew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see that 7 plus 2 equals 9. So that's one way that you could solve the first problem. Another way might be you want to use a number line. So this number line won't be on the worksheet, but I just drew this out here to show it as an example. So if we did 7 plus 2 using the number line, you might start with 7, let 7 is right here, and just count 2 more. So 1, 2. And this way you can see 7 plus 2 equals 9. So both of these ways are really good, but when you're doing this worksheet in particular, I want you to actually practice using your fingers, okay? So if we were to count 7 plus 2 using our fingers, we would probably go like, oh, well, I have 7 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just add 2 more, 1, 2. This way you could see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fingers up, and see that 7 plus 2 equals 9. So that's a really good way to add using your fingers, but you might come across harder problems where that might not work. Like number 8, for example. We have 5 plus 8 here. And let's try doing the same thing with our fingers again. So if we do 5 plus 8, you may be like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just add 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you run out of fingers. So when you try to add numbers that add up to more than 10, you might be tempted to use a number line instead, because a number line has numbers that go past 10. But the problem with this is you're not going to always have a number line whenever you need to add. It's really important to learn how to add without tools like this, because when you have to add really, really big numbers really, really fast, it takes too much time to take out a number line and use it every single time. So for the problems like this, I'm going to show you a different way that you can count with your fingers and still add numbers that are equal to numbers larger than 10. So in this way, you have to be really comfortable with counting in your head past the number 10. So if you're able to count up to 20, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, then this method should work perfectly for you. So the first number again was 5, right? So instead of putting up 5 fingers, you should just think in your head, well, what's the number after 5? And then add that way. So you know you're adding 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you know that you had to add 5 more. But instead of starting from 1, start on the number after 5. So the number after 5 is 6. So if I use my 8 fingers, I could start from 6 instead. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I did the exact same thing. I used my fingers, but this time I started from the number after 5, and I was able to figure out that 5 plus 8 equals 13. Right? So I want you to toy around with this. You might not be comfortable with putting up a certain number of fingers that don't technically represent the answer because you don't have enough. but I want you to get comfortable with just starting from a different number after the first addend, and then counting up from there with the fingers that you do have. So let's try one more example. Let's look at, how this, 6 plus 6. Okay, so for this example, you could do what I did earlier, which is just put up 6 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and start at a number after 6 again. Or you could just, if you're comfortable with putting up a certain number of fingers and knowing, oh, I already know that this is 6. I don't have to count every single finger to know that this is 6. I'm just comfortable putting the fingers up. Then you could think to yourself, okay, well, let's add that way instead. So we're doing 6 plus 6. So the number after 6 is 7. And I'll just count up from 7 while putting up 6 fingers. So number after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I stopped on 6 fingers and I got the number 12. So 6 plus 6 equals 12. Okay, so if you learn to practice math this way, to practice adding like this, you're going to get so much faster, and it's also going to help you learn how to do much harder problems in the future. Like counting with your fingers will eventually lead into multiplication and division. So this is a really, really important skill for you to have. So even if it's really hard, it's not familiar right now, I want you to practice it and I promise you that it will really, really help in the future. Okay, thank you.